more than welcome to the Coffee at 11 show this lovely Wednesday morning here in our Zoom land cafe, and delighted that we're here courtesy of wigwam.ie SME peer support. Here especially delighted to be talking to my good friend for some years and my special guest this morning. That's Baron of Dublin, Benoni Robu, known to his friends as Ben. So Ben, you are more than welcome, and you might just say hello and show us your coffee mug, please.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Thank you for inviting me, Colm. Good morning, everyone. I hope you will not waste your time for the next 14 minutes or so.
Ben, I guarantee that I won't, and nor will anybody who is in the cafe today and anybody who hear this story, because it's quite fascinating, quite fascinating. So let me just tell you a little bit about Ben before we bring the man himself in. Baron Benoni Robu, business name Baron of Dublin. We'll get to that in a minute. It's fascinating. What does your business do, Ben? It does childcare, landscaping, and he's also a life coach. How long established? 12 years, 21 years, and 3 years in those respectively. How many employees? 10. And then he goes on to say that the foundation of your achievements, of your dreams, is to know yourself, and this is an inside job. Whatever we are looking for is always inside of us. If you know where to look, if you know how to look for it. A survivor of the communist regime who refused to blame it for the lack of freedom and prosperity, Ben says, I am just a simple servant, a father that happens to be a businessman. Beautiful sentiment. And then something nobody knows about Ben, he says, I've successfully completed a program, wait to hear this first, and I hope it'll last on the Coffee at 11 show. I've successfully completed a program called Living on Light. Living on Light. There are strict conditions to follow, such as 100% physical and mental health, and above all, 100% faith that you can do it. And we'll touch on that in a little while. Ben, wonderful to have you in the cafe. Thank you for joining us today. In your own words, please take us back to those early years under the communist regime and your journey, if you wouldn't mind, to Ireland, and tell us how Joe Dolan impacted that, please.
When I was 10 years old, I had an older brother. I'm in the middle of 5 brothers and 1 sister. And the older brother used to go to trick or treat, having a band of dancers. And one of the guy knew a song in English, Paloma Blanca. And I was very small, and I was looking like a giant. He was singing Una Paloma Blanca, and he was twisting the tongue. I didn't understand what he was saying, not a single word. And then that was the first introduction to English when I was 10 years old. I was fascinated. They opened a new world for me, because we could not study English or other language because the influence of the communist bloc. We are forced to study only Russian. And that was the politic of that time. So that was the first impact when I was 10 years old with Paloma Blanca. And the second thing who really impacted me, and that's the reason I'm here, in the high school, I fall in love with this girl. And I couldn't get near her. And she was always hanging out with older guy, 1 year older than my class, and all the time around someone with a guitar. And the older brother, my older brother, he's very good at singing. And I started learning a few songs, and I wanted to impress the girl. So because she liked the guitar, I said, I'm gonna sing her a serenade, but not in Romanian, in English. What an impact. What an entrance. So I took a tape with the song of Joe Dolan. Because Joe Dolan, not too many Irish people know, Joe Dolan was massive in Romania, really at top of the charts. And when I tell that to my Irish customers, they say, what? Are you mad? I said, no, no, hold on. He was massive. And I wanted to, because that song, the song, it's you, it's you, it's you. And I said, that's reflect exactly how I feel about her name is Marcella. It's not her real name. I hope you understand for Garda protection. That's not her real name. And I get caught. I did some gardening cocooning, yeah? And a customer asked me, hey, how is Marcella? I said, what Marcella are you talking about? He said, Marcella from the book. And I said, oh yeah, that Marcella. Because I had to change to protect her identity, you know.
Oh, Ben, this is just pure gold, pure gold. I haven't stopped laughing. I'm wiping tears from my eyes here already, and we're only a few minutes in. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, so we've now met Marcella, we've met Joe Dolan, right? Tell us about, if you don't mind, tell us about eating pig's potatoes, because you wrote a book. What's the name of the book?
I have it here.
How eating pig's potatoes almost made me a billionaire. Okay, tell us about that.
Same again, when I was 10 years old, I went to buy bread and came home upset, bruised, hungry, and empty-handed because the bread was always in short supply. You could not find bread. If you can imagine, when I was 10 years old, to have kind of a comparison, imagine Leinster and Munster rugby team making a big scrum around a hatch, double of your screen. No queuing. In Romania, we didn't know about queuing. It's not like today around here, this part of the world, you stay in the line and so on. Queuing was unheard of in Romania because the shops were almost all the time empty. So people gathered around the hatch. So two rugby team tried to get to the hatch and me squeezing in between. But they were adults. I was a 10 years old guy, a boy. So I came home empty-handed and even upset. So the only option left to eat was the potatoes from the pig's bucket. In Romania, we boil the potatoes, mix with pumpkin, pot porridge, and we give that to the pigs. But that evening, those potatoes were that in the big pot for the last 5 or 6 days. And you know yourself, they get sour and they change even the color. And sitting around this big pot, the father, everyone, the father, the mother, the brothers, all of them, including me. And then we were eating those cold potatoes. They were cold. They were cold and they were sour. They were gray, not tasty. What was a little bit of rock salt. They were perfect, like hot cakes. And while eating them, it started to rain. And my mother said, oh, they taste like hotcakes. And everybody started to laugh, bursting into tears. But I was dead serious. I said, what's to laugh? That's so fucking sad. And I said, I made a promise that day, that very moment, that will never happen again. So I planted the seed of a dream in that evening, and I promised myself.
And forgive me, I didn't mean to interrupt your flow, but we just want to give you a bula bus. We want to just clap you to say what a wonderful moment you brought us through. So my apologies, I interrupted. Please, Ben, in that.
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So I promised myself in that evening that will never happen again. I did not come into this world only for that. So as I talk to you, Colm O'Brien and guests, Shaylee, Eman, and people from Sweden, I can say I'm living the dream. It wasn't easy because I had a lot of barriers, obstacles. But I'm living the dream, so that's most important thing.
And that dream was born that day eating pig's potatoes, cold grey pig's potatoes. Incredible, what an incredible story. You made several attempts to break through the borderlines to get to the west. Do you want to tell us about one or two of those, please?
To fully get the picture, you have to understand Romania, in the communist bloc, you could not travel the way we do today from here across the waters. We could not travel. Only the diplomats, only the close circles. I was just a simple guy living in a village about 100 kilometers from the Russian border. And we could not get the visas to travel, let's say, in Germany, because my father was fascinated about German products. Every single product coming from Germany was the Rolls Royce of everything in his eyes. So that influenced me a little bit, but being fascinated about the West. So finished the university. My background is mechanical engineering, and I finished the university in 91, Wednesday. By Friday, 2 days after that, I fled my country, heading toward Germany. Illegally. And we succeeded to reach in Germany. I had to cross over water. I'm not a swimmer. It scares the heart out of you when you have the water close to your mouth with a bags of. Oh, I forgot to mention, we had 2 attempts. First attempt, we saw a dead body in the river. That was in Poland. Between Poland and Germany, it's a river. Yeah? So we had an attempt, me and my brother, the younger brother, 2 years younger than me. And we had an attempt, but in the middle of the river was kind of the debris, branches piling up, kind of a little island. And we saw a dead body there. And it scared both of us, but mainly the younger brother. So we retreat immediately. The body was bloated. I can even see now the golden bracelet on his hands. The skin was 2 colors. The half of the body in the water was pinkish. The one above the water was grayish, purplish, aubergine almost. So we freaked. Was shocked. My brother, when he was around the trees, he started to vomit. So he said, he got married only a week before that. He said, I want to go back. I don't want to die around here. And then I said, look, my brother, we travel with my own money. So it was not financial, let's say, repercussion on him, but I played all my money on that trip. So I played all or nothing. I had no more money in Romania.
Ben, before you continue, that's just an unbelievable picture you've painted for us. I think we're all feeling for you. I don't think we've got any concept of the hardship that was foisted on people under the communist regime, because we happen to have been born, we speak about it all the time in the cafe, the ovarian lottery. We happen to have been born free in the West. And so this is just, it's harrowing, and yet it's strangely exciting, if you don't mind me saying so. So at this moment in time, did your brother go back? And I love what you said there. You played all your money. It was all in, all or nothing. Okay, so did you break through at that point?
We didn't break. We said, oh, hold on. Gabriel is his name. Now afterward, he joined the Foreign Legion in France. And I said, hold on a moment. Let's take our breath. Let's take a deep breath. The way Yemen said, let's take a deep breath. Let's assess again the situation. And I said, let's go upstream. So we went upstream, let's say another between 500 and no more than 1 kilometers. And we succeeded the second time. Yeah. So we reached Germany. The river is not that long and it's not that deep, but I could feel the water sometimes coming into my mouth because the chin, and I said, brother, you have to stay close to me because I don't know how to swim. And I was shaking because the bags has to go on the bag, in the plastic, you wrap it in the plastic bag, you put it in your rucksack and you hold it above the water. But it was very dangerous because it was daylight and the soldier could shoot you. They are no, please make no mistake. That person in the body, we couldn't see bullet. We did not have because we panicked. We went into a shock. So those times in '91, they were shooting after whoever wanted to go illegally on the west part. So we reached Germany, and then we took a train from that town to Dresden. From that town, Dresden, and then Frankfurt. But to me, that was not a train. It was like the people wearing perfume, nice dress, people polite, queuing. I was in a paradise, for real. And I said, that's my place. And I could smell the perfume of people and so on. But while in the train, was night already as we traveled from the border toward Frankfurt, was night trip. And it felt to me like the train was floating in the air. And it felt to me like sitting in a nice 5-star luxury hotel. That was the impact of that culture, of that comfort and the Western world. So I was not a train, was in the 5-star hotel.
Beautiful, Ben, beautiful. We're just, again, applauding your bravery and your stickability. You know, you bet it was all or nothing, and here you are. And you've got such wonderful word power, may I say, even though English isn't your first language. You're wonderfully gifted at painting word pictures. We're all with you in that train. We can smell the perfume, right? We're floating with you. Quite incredible. Okay, so I know the first trip to Germany didn't work out. They found you and kicked you back. Tell us about that real quick, please.
My first job was in the restaurant. In a restaurant. So which was about 20 kilometers from the village where you were camped. And I found work. And in the first week, the owner of the restaurant, which was an Italian family, 2 brothers, a mother and father. So it was a family of 4 people in it. They gave me the job on the spot. And in the first week, they saw me working. And I just mind my own business. I try to do my best every time. When I reached in that environment, I said, I want to learn everything. In 4 weeks, everything, whatever it's in the restaurant, coming out of the kitchen, in 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. After about 6 weeks, because so much information, my head was almost too much overloaded. But after, let's say 7 or 8 weeks, I started working on my own. In the first week, the owner saw me working and sweating and being, you know, present in what I was doing there. he said to me, you are commuting every night and we finish late, especially at the weekends. He said, I have an apartment upstairs. Would you like to live here? And I said, that's golden dust, buddy. I said, I don't need to think. I grabbed the opportunity. So I moved immediately over there. And something happened there. I don't think we informed the authorities that I changed the address. So I had to leave Germany. I think they sent me a letter in the village, but I was living in town, 25 kilometers away, on the Lake Constance in Überlingen. Überlingen is the town. And after about 9 months in Germany, police show up, police and detectives at my doors. Detectives, no uniform, but police, yeah. One detective, one police. They knock in the morning, 5 o'clock, 5:20 in the morning. They are very clever. They now want to wake you up that time, because now I get up before them. They said to me, at 12 o'clock, we have to be in Frankfurt. You've been served with a deportation order and you got 20 minutes to pack your bag. I had only one thing in mind, Colm, and listeners. What about my money? Because the money were going into the bank every month. I said, what about my money? Because you are desperate. The world collapses in you. That's it. You are done. You are on the floor. You are at the bottom of the ditch. And I think, almost in shock, I said, what about my money? I said, for that money, you have to come back some other time. He didn't know. He gave me a tip right that moment. He gave me instruction what to do, but he was not aware. But because I was present and the time stopped, when you are really present, you know, Yeman knows the time stops. And everything is highlighted. Your 5 senses, so highlighted, so present, your smell, everything gets, let's say, multiplied by 7, if you can imagine, because you are present. And okay, listen to this. We packed everything, yeah? But my mind was still, my mind, I was not settled. I was not, I have to put another stroke on this. And I tell the detective, I said, I have to grab something from the bathroom. I was on the first floor. 1.5 floor, the building kind of Victorian and so, 1.5 floor, 7 meters from the window, all into the road. And I said, I have to grab something from the toilet. I said, fair enough. They didn't follow me. I opened the window to jump. And the detective came. She said, don't you think we came prepared? My colleagues are downstairs waiting for you as well, so you do not have chance. So I just realized, that's it. I had to surrender. I said, if you try again, I'm going to handcuff you. I said, no need. I said, no need, no need. So we walk. So that's it.
Ben, fantastic, fantastic. When I met Ben first and began to hear this story, I asked, who's going to play Ben Robu in the movie? Because this is absolutely, to use your own phrase, it's golden dust. It's fantastic, absolutely wonderful. Loved what you said. You're getting deported. You've got a detective and a policeman there, and they're kicking you out of the country. And he said, you have to come back for your money. And you said in that moment, he gave me a tip and he gave me my instruction because you were present. Wonderful. Right. Right. So we got to condense this. It's such a rich story. Got to condense this. Why did you end up in Dublin? It's back to the Joe Dolan thing.
I always follow my dreams. And I followed the seed of a dream I planted when I was 10 years old. You make the connection in your audience. when I with the Paloma Blanca, with it's you, and the love story. You just connect the dots. And then you just realize that you see, when you follow your dream, you cannot escape it. You can postpone it. You can postpone it, but not forever. You can postpone it. Now and again, your dream will surface, like in today. Now and again, the dream will surface, will give you a hint, the life gives you notches, give you, let's say, cold showers, just to wake you up a little bit. So, in 97, deported second time from Germany, this time handcuffed, yeah? This time handcuffed. In 97, a friend of mine said, oh, in Ireland, people are, Irish people are living in Ireland, emigrating to America, and the houses on the hills of Ireland are empty. He never left abroad, my friend. I said, really? I said, yeah, I know that was a baloney. Wasn't true. But I play along, you know, sometimes you have to play along to, not to discourage people, you know. And I said, hold on a moment, what did you say? Ireland? And then it hit me. Oh, in Ireland. This is the country of Joe Dolan, Paki Bonner. I'm a goalkeeper. When I play football, I'm a goalkeeper. I said, Paki Bonner, Riverdance, Dolores Keane, Caledonia, you know those songs. I said, let's go there. I said, let's go. Bang. And we did all the paper there. We pay some money, a fake contract, and we arrive in Ireland. But wasn't easy, was not easy, because we came from Welsh to Cork, Welsh Rosslare, they sent us back. And the next day, we took another ferry, but this time to Dublin. So we changed the plan, we adapted to the situation. You have to change all the time just to follow your dream, to get results, the results you want in life, you know. So we took Dublin, we took the ferry to Dublin, and in the ferry, I met a guy, yeah, with a beard, nice tight beard and stubble, has a North of Ireland accent, yeah, North of Ireland accent. And we start talking, no English, but we show there, I said, people over there in the other part of Rosslare. He said, no, you come with me. You come with me in my car. He said, but keep it quiet. I say, have the passport in the hand, but don't make any sudden moves. Don't look suspicious. That was the instructions. So we passed very easily with the car, passed the border, was no control. We were not stopped. And he left us at Merchant's Quay, around Merchant's Quay.
Wonderful. That's Irish hospitality at its very best. It's about flying under the radar, doing what we shouldn't be doing, and Ireland is all the richer for the fact that Ben Robu found his way here. Right, we're now in Dublin. Baron of Dublin, when did that happen and how did it happen?
It's all happening in a childhood. It all happened in the childhood. The older brother, which I call him the Marshal. Today is his birthday, actually. And he nicknamed every one of us because he was in charge. The father was kind of disciplinarian. Whoever is older than you have to listen to. So kind of that was the structure in our family. You are older, you are in charge of the smaller one or the younger one. So we had to listen. We had to look like they were in charge, pretty much. And he nicknamed me the Baron, making the connection with the Red Baron from Germany, the pilot, the famous German pilot. And now, while working in the hotel, I work in a hotel around Dublin, and I said, oh, I'm gonna start a business. What name will I do? So you've got a dilemma. I didn't know of Trump that time. I didn't know about Trump that time. And then it struck me. I said, I'm gonna put my own name on it, Baron. So is that how all the crashes are called? The crashes are called Baron's Play School, Baron of Dublin Life Coaching, Green Baron Landscaping, and so on. So I put my name on it. I think that's the best to do it. You put your own name on it. We learn from someone better. I learn from someone better than me.
Come here, Ben. It's an absolute joy having you in the cafe this morning. You know, when I see the happy faces around the cafe here, it's just incredible. Just a beautiful story, beautiful story. And, you know, all through it, there's humanity and there's humor and there's absolute focus and there's following your dream no matter what. Wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff. And so you arrived in Dublin, you're here now some time in Ireland, and so you got Baron, what was the name of the three businesses? Baron
of Dublin, it's life coaching, motivational, and speaking engagement around the books. Baron's Play School. By the way, I have a degree in childcare, and Green Baron Landscaping.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. That's just, it's wonderful. It's such an inspiration, such an inspiration. There are too many people who give up at the first sign of trouble, and you just keep barreling on because you're following your dream. So Ben, that's a roller coaster of a story so far. You're in Dublin, Baron business is all up and running, everything's going swimmingly. What's it like now in COVID, Ben?
What's that C word? Let me check the dictionary. What did you say?
Yeah, okay, move it. Point.
Delete. Oh, no, I deleted that word.
Okay. Okay. I tell you, the coup is gathering ahead of steam here. That's all I'm saying here. That's right. This is wonderful. Ben, okay, I get it. There's no pandemic where you are, right? So since there's no pandemic where you are, what's it going to be? Is it going to be even better when the pandemic leaves the rest of the world?
In every event, in every, let's say, crisis, it's a silver lion. Yeah, are a lot of opportunities in this period. It started, let's say, in Ireland, let's say 2 months ago. I don't even want to mention it, but we know what we are talking here. There are opportunities there. For instance, I learned to bake bread. I'm a baker, almost a qualified baker now. I did not have it when I was 10 years old, but now I have it. I can even eat it, all of it. But how much can you eat? There are opportunities there. And when the fear and the doubts are enveloping you, you cannot think straight. You are not present. And it's almost overwhelm you. And it get this, sometimes a sense of semi-shock in your system. You are happy to get €300.50 every week. But you don't realize how much we lose because we cannot hug each other. We don't realize what does it mean to talk face to face to you, to get more intense and the vibration and to feel the room better. We don't realize. And we have to learn from that. I think if we are present, we can transform this in a very good opportunity. In a matter of months, we're gonna bounce back. We are missing a few pieces from the puzzle, but we're gonna bounce back stronger. And I'm certain about that. Just think about what happened with the banks in America a few years ago. And look, we are flying in January because it's all about resilience and having that faith that no matter what, I see myself now when I look in a mirror, not a Romanian person anymore. I'm a kind of a mixture. I'm kind of universal now, but I let myself influence by other people. It's very important to let yourself shaped. And these events in the last 2 months, they reshaped the dynamic of the society, which it's a very good thing. I see that an opportunity, and I think whoever is there to learn from this will bounce back maybe twice as strong as before.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Whoever is going to learn from this will bounce back twice as strong as before. And I've no doubt you'll be leading the charge, Ben. Listen, we're going to go to Q&A from the floor in just a moment. I'm sure there are people who want to ask the Baron some questions. Before we do, I'm going to ask you for a tip in a moment, but before we do, I mentioned at the top of the show that you did an experiment recently where you decided to live on light alone, right? You lived on light alone recently for some time. Will you just bring us through that somewhat briefly? Thank you.
I was just thinking last night when I went in bed, because from the outside, someone who doesn't know me, it seemed like I jumped into it. Actually, I did a lot of research in order to do that, because it's a program, it lasts 21 days. You divide the 21 days in 3, so you've got 3 weeks. In the first week, you don't eat anything, you don't drink anything. Second week, you don't eat anything, but you can drink water with 20% orange juice. And in the last week, you eat nothing, and you can drink water with 40% orange juice in it, as much as you want. And it's not for everyone. I prepared for that about 6 months, and I did even a colonic cleansing to do that. I was not for that purpose, but when I connected the dots, I could finally understand what was the purpose of those 3 V's of colonic cleansing. You know what a colonic cleansing is, Colm?
Unfortunately, I do. Please.
Simon Cowell is doing it, and I said, that's stupid. And then when I did it myself, I said, yeah, it's as stupid as you make it. Because what happened there, I did it around January. What happened there, the body cleansed from inside. Mentally, I was 100%. The body was close to 100% because you're supposed to do a GP visit. And then spiritually, something that happened because I'm doing a hypnotherapy college. And while under the hypnosis, all my seven energetic center opened right under hypnosis. And the teacher said, what you are witnessing here is the Kundalini Awakening. So it happened to me. I connected all the dots. I did water fasting. I started in December, starting with, I cannot remember, 3 or 5 days, first month. Second month, I did 8 days water fasting. You drink only water. And then I did 5 days, and then 4 days as well. And then I jump into living on light. It's not for everyone because you look in the mirror. What happened there, let's say you are 100% healthy and mentally strong. It's not enough. Let's say you look in the mirror and you ask yourself, it's only a talk between you and you. You say, let's say, Ben, how is your faith? And you say, 99%. Don't do it. You cannot do it with 99% because I did it. I did it myself. It requires 100%. Because what happened there? You're gonna stumble because the body will drain of energy. And I collapsed. My wife is behind the computer, and now finally the secret is out. I hope she doesn't hear. Oh yeah. I collapsed, yeah, because the body exhaustion. 3 days before that, I had to call a nurse to give my readings, the blood pressure. I had a diary. I have a diary every day. See, day number, I have 21 days diary. And I give the reading to the head nurse in Finglas here in Kappa Hospital. And she almost in tears. She said, Ben, please come to us. We don't charge you anything. Just come, we put you on the machine straight away just to give. But I could see the end. You know, when you reach the end of the tunnel, you have only 3-4 days. I said, I did so much running and sacrifices. How can I give up now? I can see the light. And I keep going another day. But when you are in that zone, you don't take your life as a 1 day, as 1 hour. You divide the 24 hours in small, manageable pieces. Sometimes you divide even the hour in 2 breaths. You take the breath in and then you exhale. That thin line is. Why? Because it's not for everyone. I would not recommend. Will give you a boost to your immune system. Will test your physical boundaries, but mainly the spiritual part of your faith, the spiritual part of your soul. That will test. You go into unknown territory, which you have to surrender that everything will be okay. And trust me, now I understand why it requires 100% faith.
Ben, what an unbelievable story beginning to end. Absolutely phenomenal and fascinating. Thank you, Princess Shelley and Bridget starting the Bula bus there. Phenomenal. And thank you for those few minutes on living on light. By the way, do not try this at home. The Coffee at 11 show does not endorse living on light. Before we go to Q&A from the floor, what one tip would you give your nearest and dearest? Because not everybody is a Ben Robu. Not everybody is as focused, as in touch with what's going on. So for the average person out there, what would you say they should do? One tip that will help them get through COVID, come out the far side in the best shape possible. What's the one tip, please?
It's very simple. If it's lockdown, if it's a boom, it's same situation. Nothing changes. Will not change you. If you are doubting yourself, a crisis like this will make you doubt even more. If you are present, will enhance your presence. So you're gonna grow. Whatever is there, that will grow, no matter what. If you see yourself in a mirror as a successful person, you're gonna skyrocket immediately, no matter what, no matter when this thing will finish. Because you are anchored not on the external circumstances. Your foundation, it's inside of you. It's not outside of you. And no matter how much stormy water, how much earthquake will shake your belief system or your economy, because you are anchored deeply inside yourself. Nothing outside yourself can shake you. So you are unbreakable. We are unbreakable.
Absolutely wonderful. You are unbreakable. We are unbreakable. Baron of Dublin, thank you for being my guest on this morning's Coffee at 11 show. Wonderful to have you here. What's that? What are you showing us?
You asked for the tip, and it just popped because here I have all the tips. So you said, look, I'm going to read something in the memory of the guy from Clare, John O'Donoghue. May I have, that's the tip actually. That's for everyone and for people who you will influence. May I have the courage today to live the life that I would love, to postpone my dream no longer, but do at last what I came here for, and waste my heart on fear no more.
Baron of Dublin, absolute joy having you here in the cafe this morning. An absolute joy. You've got wisdom oozing out of you, to do with who you are, and informed by your wonderful and very exciting and very challenging journey to date. And I'll say it openly here: you deserve the title Baron of Dublin. No question. No question.
Thank you.
Boodle-bus.
Same again. I learned that from people around my journey. And I want to say again, thank you to Irish people who supported me, encouraged me. And I see myself just as a humble servant. It's not me, it's my master teachers and other organizations like Tangible, PSA, BNI, and even the audience who is in front.
Lovely. Thank you, Ben. Thank you very much. Folks, we've gone on longer than usual, but I think you'd agree, fabulous, rich, so I make no apology for that. However, has anybody got a question? If there's no immediate question, Bridget, wonderful. And then we go to Princess Shelley. Bridget.
All I can say, it's not really a question, because, and I know questions are more important probably, but I, as a former journalist, have interviewed hundreds and hundreds of people. Never have I met anyone like you. Never. Your resilience, your humor, your character, you're a natural storyteller. You've blown me away and everyone away. I mean, you are extraordinary. Hug yourself today and every day, because you are, literally, you are the goldness yourself. Thank you so much.
I will tell my wife to cover me on butter tonight.
Fabulous, Bridget. That was lovely. That was a lovely sentiment. Thank you. And by the way, folks, when you meet this man and when we're allowed to hug each other again, Ben is a heart hugger. So whenever he and I meet, we must hug heart to heart. So it's yeah, slightly off to the unusual side. Ben, wonderful.
It's my birthday today, and as a gift, I wanted to leave it for Ryan Turbide for Late Show. But I tell you what, your audience, I treat them as VIPs. So I would like all the addresses. Everyone in the audience will have a free copy of my book. I just need a postal address.
Oh, gosh.
Absolutely wonderful, wonderful.
I said thank you. I said thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. That's lovely. So, folks, if you're happy to put your postal address in the chat box, we'll capture it later and I'll forward it on to Ben. So that's up to you. Ben, wonderful. Princess Shelley, tell us what's been going on in the cafe, please.
It's been an amazing, amazing Coffee at 11 show, Benoni. You've brought the cafe through so many emotions. We were all like, Donal, who is joining us today, he's a guest, future guest, coming up on the show soon. And Donal Thurrow says that he left a seminar on Finnegan's Wake to join this morning. And already I'm so pleased and feel privileged to listen to Benoni. So thank you for that comment there, Donal. And I was the same. And Eamon Smith said that I'm on the edge of my seat here. This was at the point of your journey, Benoni, when you were bringing us through your scrambling for bread and the potatoes and your arduous journey across the river and what was there on the other side. And like Eamon, we were just, I looked around the cafe and everybody was on the edge of their seat. Like Colm said earlier, such a wonderful storyteller. Donal said at that point, wow, when you were bringing us through that and the river and everything. Dermot Keeney said, when I hear people complain about Ireland, I often think people don't know how good they have it. I think if people hear stories like Benoni's, they might wake up and smell the coffee. Wow. So he was moved by your journey and your story. Thank you for sharing that with us, Dermot. Raymond Sexton, who I think, as Colin said, is joining us from Australia, said a living legend. So so that was very nice. That was, and you certainly are a living legend, Benoni, that's for sure. Anne Kristen, who joins us each day from Sweden, Benoni, I understand that she's met you before. She said, thanks for sharing your story. I'm happy that you've made it through to Ireland and succeeded in such a wonderful way that you have. By the way, I met you in Dublin at a We Can and We Will event, which was one of our previous guests, Amanda Delaney. So she was just saying a little hello to you there. And then Eamon said, Ben, you're absolutely right. I have also discovered you lots of times to make decisions, even in a split second when you're fully present here and now. That Eamon mentioned in one of his interview here in the cafe that he had a near-miss car accident and it felt like several minutes, but probably nanoseconds. And he was just referring to when you said when you're fully present, time just stops. So he can identify with that. So I'm sure you'll agree, everybody. Just before we go, Dermot said that the original land of opportunity was once America, he felt, and that listening to your story, and he feels that Ireland is truly the land of opportunity now. So I think you'll agree with that, Benoni, or I hope you will. So yeah, so lots and lots of lovely comments, guys, and we usually do like to invite some questions, but lots of people interested there. They've popped in their addresses and really look forward to receiving your wonderful book and learning even more about your wonderful story. Thank you so much for sharing it with us today, and I'll pass you back over to our host, Colm. Thank you very much, Benoni. Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you very much. Thank you. Gratitude.
That's just beautiful. Isn't that just beautiful? Today's been a truly beautiful Coffee at 11 show. Thank you, Ben, for making it so special. And thank you, everybody, for being involved and being here.
Thank you.
Taking time out. Yeah, it's great. Gratitude is the word for sure. Princess Shelley, thank you for producing today's show. Eamon Smith, thank you for looking after us. Head of Guest Services, Katrina O'Brien, for making this beautiful later on this evening. And, of course, wigwam.ie for supporting it. Thank you, Baron Benoni Robu, for being an exceptional guest on the Coffee at 11 show.
Thank you for listening. Appreciate it. I'm just a simple servant. Everything I know, I learned from my teachers and my masters. Thank you.
And we get that, and we're taking it on board 100%, so thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, before I let you all go, a lady that I've known for some years, thorough professional in her field, and her name is Patricia Robertson. She's joined us in the cafe there in the last little while to meet you all, and she's coming in tomorrow as my special guest. Patricia is the proprietor and managing director of a beautiful property here in Limerick called Number One Perry Square. Number One Perry Square Hotel, Restaurant and Spa. Truly beautiful property, truly beautiful service-led organisation, right in the heart of Georgian Limerick, and so delighted to have Patricia on here tomorrow. I'm looking forward to hearing from Patricia how it was before the C word that Ben won't allow us to use, what's it like now, and where's it headed. So please honour Patricia and her journey by dropping back in tomorrow if you've got the time. Okay, I'm going to finish the show as I always do, and that is to say, Baron Benoni Robu, namaste.
Thanks very much. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the day.